you recently wrote a blog post. In August, you wrote a blog post called Searching for Meaning in the Age of AI. And in it, you forewarn that humanity is at the beginning of an existential crisis. So do you want to explain more about that blog post and maybe just kind of more generally provide us with some insight into where you think this is going, where, I mean, we kind of got a sense right there from your science perspective, which I think is spot on. But what are kind of the implications for humanity in that world where there are super intelligent systems, kind of like the episode that I released today of the podcast? It's on Dario Amadei's 15,000 word blog post, kind of really techno optimistic about powerful AI. And yeah, I mean, so, do you kind of agree that we'll be going towards this potentially like utopian kind of society where AI is solving a century's worth of science problems in a decade, like Dario describes? Or yeah, how do you kind of see things playing out?
So I'm generally, I think I'm a techno optimist here too. I'm generally very optimistic. I have an even earlier blog post on a similar thing from 2016, maybe some earlier ones too. And I was reading a book called Life of the Mind by Hannah Arendt, and she's talking about Hegel and thinking and all these other things, and I wrote something like, our future with AI is going to destroy mankind. But I didn't mean in a Terminator kind of way, but more so because so much of our focus on truth and knowledge and science, well, we may very well be obviated in that process. As we were just saying, like the algorithms might be better at all of that than us, but so much of our identity as mankind, or like Hegel's world spirit, or a zeitgeist, some people will use that word, is related to that right now. Like we've built so much of who we are and our sense of like what humanity is on this pursuit of truth, pursuit of knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was writing about how at the time, in like 2013, 2014, I was like, the middle term, there was like the short term. Short term was just like, well, we got to figure out how to make this stuff work. It's all wrong. We're going to have to like figure it out. In the middle term, it's going to be really, really hard because our sense of identity will be challenged greater than, like more than ever before, from chess to Go to now language, like meaning, potentially all of knowledge and science. AI will be better at than us. So in the middle term, jobs will be lost. People will have to be transitioned. They'll have to be reskilled. But it's going to happen really, really quickly. And that's going to be hard. The middle term is going to be hard. And then the long term, I was thinking that, well, that will probably be the best of all times to be alive. You could argue that that's already the case, but I think it will definitely be true in the especially long term. Because if you think about us kind of free from that pursuit in some sense, then we can focus on all of the other things that maybe we are still uniquely special at. And I don't really know what those things are, but as we get pushed out of certain domains, we'll find out what humanity is really special for, if anything. And if nothing, then great. We can just focus on beauty and wonder and admiration and see whether that's stuff that separates us from machines or not. I
love it, man. Yeah.
Didn't think we were uniquely intelligent, but we may very well be uniquely privileged in the way we perceive the world and like can enjoy it by creating meaning.